Right, we are officially live for the first Kahoot Space Week extravaganza. We have astronaut Dr. Don Thomas, who has had the privilege of flying to space 4 times. Welcome, Don.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here tonight with everybody. Looking forward to the competition.
Well, it's not night for you, is it? For you, it's probably in the afternoon.
It's afternoon here. We're 6 hours behind you.
2 days before we had some
Awesome. And I see that we have going to go to Kahoot.com, and you're going to click on play. And when you do that, you should get a screen, and I will then give you your PIN code. And just for the people that are taking part, we do ask that you put your country. So just put your name. Let's say your name is Mike. Just put there Mike, USA, so we know which country you're from. And we'll be ready to start in shortly. Louise said it was too loud, so she had to leave, but she can always mute Hangout. Okay, so we're going to give you a chance to log into Kahoot. And when you do, I'm going to quickly go and load up the quiz. I see it over here. We're playing classic mode.
Are you the Kahoot master? What do we call you?
I'm just the, you could call me the Kahoot master. I like it.
Kahoot master, master of ceremony.
Something like that, master blaster. Okay, so hopefully you are now logged into Kahoot. The PIN code is going to be 992125, and I'm going to share my screen for you. Let's see. Are you guys seeing my screen?
I'm seeing it.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, awesome. Right, we've got Dickens, Will. These guys are the first ones to log in. Hunter's in there. Morgan and Ava and John. And do we even have Don in there? Have you signed up?
I'm signed up.
Are you signed up? Oh, Astro Don is there. Very cool.
All right, looking good,
you
guys.
A chance to sign in. Excellent. We've got Audrey as well, and Coy and Connor and Logan. We've got 23 players. We're just going to give another 2 more minutes for others to sign up.
Questions about space. You guys ready? Have you done anything in space and science class yet?
No. We forgot to say
Well, we're going to find out. Everybody's in. There's no shame in trying. Try things. That's great.
Okay, let me just remind them.
Okay, we're good.
Everyone all good?
We are all in. We are ready to go.
Okay, I think we're ready to go. And if anyone wants to join in after the effect, they can always just join in by watching livingmaths.com, and they can join the YouTube link over there. All right. Are we ready for the first question?
Whoa!
Okay. Let's go. Where is my Kahoot screen? Ah, here it is. Okay. First question up. How do you spell astronaut? And this is just a nice, easy one to warm you up. You've got about 20 seconds. The answer coming in quite quickly.
Can you see him all right? I'll turn out the lights. Ready? Is that a little better?
Pure genius, classic perfection. Pure genius.
3 seconds. Right. We got 22 answers in, and I believe 20 of them got it correct. 2 of them not so correct. Let's have a look at our leaderboard.
Astronaut.
Marine. Where's Marina? Let's see if I can actually see Marina on the screen. Marina, are you waving? You're going to have to wave. Let's have a look. Oh, there she is. Great. She's very shy. Marina is looking to take the lead. She's sitting on top of the leaderboard with 919 points. Sanjula, Ava, Hannah, and Hunter. Don, do you know how to spell astronaut, or do you think they might have just been a little bit too quick for you?
I didn't know it was timed, so.
Oh, okay.
I do know how to spell it. I just took my time.
It's okay. You're just giving them a bit of a chance to warm up, and I appreciate that, and I think they do as well. Okay, let's go back to the next question. Which was the last shuttle flown before the shuttle program ended?
Atlantis, Challenger, Endeavour, Discovery.
Which was it? Just because I want to be fast.
12 seconds.
Got a lot of answers in fast. You guys are quick.
I want to be fast. To be on the top.
1 second. 26 answers in, which means even more people signed up while we are playing. And right now, only 2 people have the correct answer. Oh boy. Let's find out if that's going to affect the leaderboard. Astro Don has moved up to the top. And Marina is still coming second with Sanjula and then Koi and then Ava. Not bad going. But of course, those were just the warm-up questions. Let's see how well you do on the next question. Are you ready? Let's go. Which planet was Cassini designed to observe?
This was in the news.
Come on, you should know this one.
I just guessed first.
22 answers in. We've got 12 seconds. Oh, we got all the answers in.
Genius.
And Saturn was the correct answer. 12 of you got that correct. Let's find out if that affected Marina and Astrodon. Oh, look at that. Hannah came running in. Of course, Logan coming in. How does Logan come in second? So third and fourth. Maybe they signed up twice. Unless they're 2 Logans.
2 Logans.
3 Logans. Okay, so we're not sure which one's winning at the moment. And then, of course, up 10 places was Connor. So that was a great improvement. And remember, when you get 3 in a row correct, you score bonus points as well. I'm pleased to see that Astrodon is sitting on top. Reputation is there, but remember, it's not always about who is smarter, because the quicker you answer, the more points you score. So let's find out what's going to happen next. What type of animal was the first to orbit the Earth? Oh, it's like popcorn. 24 seconds and 20 answers are in.
You guys are fast.
Let's have a look at that one. This is an interesting one. We had 13 that got it correct and 10 that did not get it correct. And of course, maybe Don, you can enlighten us. What can you tell us about the first animal in space?
First animal in space was launched by the Soviet Union. It was a dog named Laika. And it survived maybe a day or so, but they had no means of bringing it back to Earth ever. But it was the very first animal to orbit the Earth.
What other kind of animals have they sent to space?
We have sent bullfrogs, monkeys, chimpanzees. On my missions, I've had fruit flies, salamanders, goldfish, rats on board. So all kind of different animals. We've taken them up there to see how they behave and adapt and grow in zero gravity. But Laika was the pioneer, the very first one.
Wow. And why do you think they chose a dog and not a cat or a monkey first?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, the Russians, the Soviet Union chose dogs, and the United States chose monkeys, chimpanzees, because the United States chose the monkeys because they're closer in physiology to us. Maybe the Soviet Union, they thought, well, dogs obey orders pretty well, and so they chose them.
Wow.
No,
okay.
no big idea.
That's a very interesting one. All right, well, that was a nice, easy one. But now, of course, we're going to see if you can handle the next question. And that is, well, at the moment, Astrodon, you sitting on top, pretty nice and comfortable with a just over 1,000
Team
and 700 points. Is that right?
Let me kick back a little bit here.
Oh, you're going to kick back a little bit. All right, let's see what happens next. Hannah is chasing you, hot on your heels. How often does the moon orbit the Earth?
So every 30 days, every 31, never, every 27.3 days.
94 answers. Wow, we've got a couple of classes that have joined us recently. Welcome to all of you from around the world. This is very exciting. We've got 99 answers in so far. 100 answers, and we're up to 105.
Wow.
Wow.
See what we're playing here in a minute.
115 answers got in, and 31 of you were correct. The rest were not. Of course, you would think that it's every 30 days. That's what most people would think. Some would go with 31, but actually the moon only orbits the Earth every 27.3 days. Is that correct, Don?
That's correct. I remembered as a kid every 28 days or so.
And when you were up in space, obviously you weren't up for a month, were you?
No, my longest mission was 16 days, but I always enjoyed during that 2-week time watching the phases of the moon change. So when you launch, it may be a full moon, and then by the time you landed, it had changed to just a half moon, gibbous moon.
That is awesome. All right. Are you ready for the next question? And I'm so glad we've got so many people that are joining us live from all over the world. Let's see how well you're doing. We're going to just check the leaderboard at the moment. Astrodon is still sitting comfortably on top with Logan and Casey, Connor, and Hannah. But you never know what's going to happen because we've got people all over the world, and they might be able to answer these questions very quickly. Next one is, when we are on Earth, what happens during a solar eclipse? The answers are coming in. It sounds like popcorn. Does the Earth block the sun? Does the sun block the moon? Does the moon block the sun? Or does the sun wear clips? That's what happens during a solar eclipse.
Yeah.
You said the sun wears.
We've got 3 seconds. Oh, we're up to 170 answers. And of course, the moon blocks the sun. And when was the last solar eclipse?
August 22nd.
You guys
August
remember?
22nd. And you guys got to see it in America. We didn't get to see it here in South Africa. Why is it that you got to see it and we didn't?
I saw it down the shore.
Yeah, I was down in South Carolina in southern United States and saw totality for about 2.5 minutes. It was one of the most incredible sights I've ever seen.
That is very cool. And how often does it happen?
You know, the next one is, I think, just a few years in South America, and then in the United States, we have another one in 2024, so 7 years from now. So it's every couple of years. I don't know exactly how often, but every 3 or 4 years, somewhere.
Well, we're going to find out now how well people know their space stuff, because the leaderboard says that Astrodon is still sitting on top. We have Logan, Casey, Hunter, and Hannah. But remember, we've got over 170 entries in the last round. Anything can happen if you get it wrong. The next question coming up. Which one of these options is not a moon of Jupiter? Is not a moon of Jupiter.
I've heard everyone except for all.
13 seconds left. If you're not sure, you can always guess.
No one knows. Danny Meddy. It's like.
We only had 23 answers over there, but 11 got it correct. The moons of Jupiter.
Wait, what?
It's, I don't know the exact number. It's got 20 or more moons. It's got 4 big moons that you can see with a pair of binoculars. It's really amazing just looking at Jupiter with a pair of binoculars. you'll see these 4 moons. Sometimes all 4 on one side. Sometimes it's 2 and 2 as they orbit around Jupiter every night. They change positions. But you can easily see the 4 big moons with a small pair of binoculars.
So if you were on Jupiter and you were looking up in the night sky, would you actually see 4 moons in the sky?
You would see more than 4 moons. You know, Jupiter has, I don't know the exact number, a couple dozen moons. So you would see them all in position there.
That would look amazing.
Be pretty cool to see that.
That would be very cool. All right, let's have a look at our leaderboard at the moment. Astrodon is still sitting on top. Logan, Casey, Sophia, Sophia, welcome. And of course, up places is Marina, very nice. She's the highest climber. And Koi USA, but it's not over yet. Let's see who is the weakest stink. Okay, the next one is, how many Earths can you fit into our sun? Oh, they are answering quickly. The numbers are moving up. 20 seconds. You can always guess if you're not sure. Oh, only 9 got it correct. 1.3 million. That is incredible. If you think about the size, the magnitude of the sun.
You guys got it over here. Good job.
Who got that correct?
Who got it correct?
I got it.
4 or 5 bunch. We got it out.
You guys got it correct. And the people at home that are watching it live, I'm not sure how many of you got it correct. Don, did you get it correct?
And the astronaut got it wrong.
Oh, so this might change the leaderboard.
30,000, so that's going to change
This
the
is
leaderboard.
very exciting. Very exciting. Let's have a look. We're going to find out now if that has changed the leaderboard. Oh, Astrodon, let me tell you, Logan is nipping at your ankles. Casey and Ava and Eleanor, welcome Eleanor. And Aiden has now moved up because Aiden got 3 correct in a row. And that's going to give Aiden bonus points. Okay, the next question.
The stream. Go to our website. I posted it there.
Okay, you ready? Which astronaut flew the Apollo 11 command module while his 2 colleagues walked on the moon?
There were 3 total.
Coming in very quickly.
Michael Collins, Edward Aldrin, Gene Kernan, John Glenn. If you're having trouble.
Oh, all the answers were in. And it turns out that Michael Collins is the correct one. And out of interest, Don, did you ever get a chance to meet any of them?
I've met all of the astronauts. I met Michael Collins many times. I saw him about a year ago. And Neil Armstrong, I invited him to come down to my 3rd launch, which was back in 1997. And he accepted the invitation. And the day before our launch, I got to spend about an hour one-on-one with Neil Armstrong. And it was one of the coolest things I've done in my life. You know, flying in space was great, but I think the highlight of my life was that 1 hour I got to spend with Neil Armstrong.
That is incredible. I mean, it's so funny to hear people, you know, when you talk about the fact that they get to meet an astronaut and they are all goo-goo about it, and then you telling us about meeting Neil Armstrong and you were all goo-goo about it. That is just awesome.
He was my hero as a young boy. You know, I was 14 when he walked on the moon, and he was from my home state of Ohio. So he was always a big hero of mine, and it was a real honor to get to meet him.
That is very cool. And apparently he was quite reclusive.
He was pretty reclusive. But sitting down with him, he was the nicest guy. He loved talking about flying, as most astronauts do. I've also met, like I said, Mike Collins, Buzz Aldrin many times. Mike Collins is just the nicest guy in the world. And Buzz Aldrin, he does a lot of book signings. He goes out and does a lot of public speaking as well. So he's quite accessible.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. McNulty's group apparently are leaving us in about 3 minutes. So let's see if we can get another question going. The next, who's on the top of the leaderboard? Astrodon is still there. Logan, Casey, Sophia, nice of you to join us. And Ava and Audrey is up 21 places. Very impressive. The next question is, and this is number 10 of 16, NASA's Scott Kelly and Roscosmos's Mikhail Kornienko achieved what on the ISS? What did they do on the ISS?
I don't know. I think it's one where.
Was it the first tandem spacewalk? Did they have a boxing match?
Yes.
Did they touch an asteroid? Ah, many of you got that correct. Let's have a look.
And a year. Good job.
Oh, Astrodon is still on top. Logan is still there. Hunter, Casey, Ava, and Carson, you are now up 3 places. Very impressive. Did you ever get to meet those two, Don?
I did. I spent about 2 years over in Russia, in Star City, where they have the cosmonaut training center. And I knew Mikhail Kornienko when he was first selected. I got to know him, and the Kelly brothers, both Mark and Scott, I knew them very well as well. And all 3 of them, great people.
Awesome, awesome. Are there any astronauts that are not great people? Because, you know, you've said they're all great so far. I'll just take your word for they're all great people. That's why they get chosen.
One by one.
We'll try one more question, okay?
Okay, one more question. Let's do it. Are you ready? How many space shuttle missions did Dr. Thomas complete? You're not going to get this one wrong.
There's a lot of pressure on me here.
I was in the introduction.
No.
We'll find out.
1 second left. Okay. 7 of you got it correct. 15 of you got it incorrect. Let's see what that has done for the leaderboard. And Astrodon is still on top. Logan, Hunter, Casey, and Ava. Well done. Now, Mr. McNulty, your group have to leave. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're going to have a bell in a minute. You know how these middle school schedules work. Here it comes.
And they can't stay a little bit longer.
I got another group coming.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, so tell them to leave their computers on, and then the kids could take over.
Oh, there'll be another group coming in just a minute. By the way, Logan, where's Logan? He already ran out the door. He was.
Oh, did Logan already run out?
Oh, he's right here. He's right here. Come on up.
Come on, Logan. Say hi.
Here's our champion for our room here today.
Logan,
Now,
good
Logan,
job.
Logan, are you a space fan?
Kinda, yeah. I've read a decent amount about it.
Okay, and do you follow anything in the news about it?
Come on in, have a seat.
Yes, I just did a current event project on Cassini, so that's why I knew that question.
Ah. And John, what do you say?
I was going to say, see if Logan wants to do a virtual fist bump here. Congratulations.
Absolutely. You need a fist pump there. There we go. Hold on, Logan. I need a picture of you with your fist pump. There we go. Put your fist up in the air.
Here.
Here, go to the computer.
There we go. We got your fist pump. He's going to come to the camera.
Up there.
Oh, the camera's up there. Okay. There we go. Oh, awesome.
Guys, have a seat.
Awesome.
Get started here in a moment.
That is so cool. All right. So now, are your next group arriving?
Oh, yeah. Next class. We're relentless around here.
Okay. So let them come on in. We'll give them a couple of minutes. And they can join in for the last bit to see how many of the questions they can get right. Well done, Logan. Awesome
Logan,
stuff.
good job.
I'm going to mute this for a little bit because it's going to get loud.
Okay. That never scared us. Okay. So at the moment, the scores are that, Don, you're doing quite well with 11,543. Logan did pretty well with 8,765. And he was quite ahead of the rest of the group. So that's pretty impressive. And of course, we had a whole bunch of people from around the world joining in from different classes. And at one stage, we had up to 170 participants in one of the questions, which was amazing. I'm hoping that they might be able to rejoin at some point because they're watching the live stream on the YouTube link and also on livingmaths.com. And it's being tweeted all over the place, and it's on Facebook. So hopefully we're going to have more people joining us during the course of the quiz. We're going to give Mr. McNulty's group a quick chance to the quiz. Oh, it's over here. We're going to give Mr. McNulty's group a quick chance to log in, and see if any of his students are going to be joining us. And Mr. McNulty, you've got the PIN code there? 992125. So this should be fun. Don, have the questions been tough so far?
Your code is...
The questions, I knew most of them. The only one was how many Earths can fit inside the sun. I did not know that one. I know it's a lot, but I didn't know how many.
So now I'm going to throw in a couple more just to keep you on your toes. And some of the ones are obviously quite... Yeah, some of them are technical, which means that, you know, if you're asking how many Earths you could fit in the sun, that's quite a technical one. You either know it or you don't.
Hard to see. First name, -USAPA.
Okay, I can see they're all signing in. That'll be awesome. We should have a whole bunch more joining in.
Welcome to class, everybody, folks. I'd like to introduce Dr. Thomas up on the screen there. He's an astronaut. He's actually in Maryland. Our interviewer today is Mr. Steve Sherman, who's in Cape Town. And we've been playing a Kahoot game, but unfortunately, as you may have noticed, the bells rang. So you guys get to finish off the game.
You do get to finish off the game. So I get to meet you all and say hi and welcome to our global Kahoot. And I'm hoping we're going to have a lot more people joining us live during this Kahoot. And it's all about space questions. And I'm hoping that your knowledge of space is going to impress the socks off Dr. Thomas. So are you ready? Let me just share the screen again. So we've got our Kahoot going.
I want to be impressed, but I don't want to lose here, Steve.
Oh, no, you're not going to lose. I think
okay.
the good news is that because they've swapped and they've come in only halfway, you're going to score a little bit on that one.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready for the next question?
We're go.
Okay, they look like they signed up. They're ready to go. Right. And Mr. McNulty, you're going to have to put the Kahoot screen on so that they can see it. Here goes. How long does the International Space Station take to orbit the Earth? Wow, that's a tough question. I can hear the popcorn going, which means some of the answers are coming in quite quickly. Eight seconds. And 9 of you got it correct. 90 minutes. Now, Don, you were not on the International Space Station, but what can you tell us about that? The fact that it goes around every 90 minutes.
Yeah, you know, for things orbiting the Earth, the farther you are away from the Earth, the longer it takes. So the space shuttle, the space station, it only takes 90 minutes to go around the Earth. Some of our communication satellites are like 20,000 miles, 30,000 kilometers away. They take 24 hours to circle the Earth. And the moon, as we learned earlier, takes 27.3 days. So the farther you get away, the longer the orbit is, the orbital period.
And what happens every 90 minutes?
Every 90 minutes, we just circle around the planet and come back to where we're going. So as we're orbiting the Earth is actually turning underneath us. So every time we go around the Earth is turned a little bit and we're passing over a different part of the planet. And that's how the astronauts get to see the entire planet, most of the planet during their missions.
And what about the sunset and sunrise? Does that happen every 90 minutes too?
Every 90 minutes, so we see 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every 24 hours up there.
You do realize how cool that is?
Technically, our day in space from sunrise to sunrise is only 90 minutes.
Wow. Students in Mr. McNulty's class, do you think that would be to have sunset and sunrise every 90 minutes?
Nice.
I would suspect that would be absolutely awesome. All right, let's get on to the next question. Are you ready?
Ready? Yes. All right, here we go.
And Astrodon, you've got a clear lead. Of course, Logan is still winning, even though Logan's not there. But Varun, who has just come up, is the highest climber. Maybe Varun is from the next game. I don't know.
No, he's with us.
Okay, how many years in space did Cassini travel? Tricky one.
Cassini. It was in the news a little while ago.
Like a week ago, 20 years. Yeah. Mr. Holt says
9 seconds.
yes.
14 of you got it correct.
Who's it?
John, what do you know about Cassini?
I don't know the exact year, but I put down 20 there, so it must have launched in.
So that was a pretty good guess.
1997.
What was the intention of Cassini?
The intention, it was the first spacecraft to actually orbit the planet Saturn, and it studied the rings, it studied the moon system. I think we've discovered many, many new moons and have a lot more, better picture for, what the rings are doing and how they formed. So, and it just crashed back into the planet. NASA crashed it back down and had it burn up in the atmosphere so it wouldn't contaminate any of the moons or the rings in the future.
But now, if it was sent 20 years ago, then the technology that was used was obviously from 20 years ago.
Correct, at least.
So if we wanted to send another mission, how long would it take to get to Saturn?
To get to Saturn, I think it typically takes some, 6 years or so, 6, 7, 8 years, depending on how they do it. Sometimes they do loops around other planets to build up speed. So sometimes they'll loop around Venus, pick up more speed and kind of slingshot it out. So it just depends on how they do it. They try to do that when they can. Even though it takes longer to get there, it'll save on the propellants. And so they could use more of the propellant once they get there.
Wow, that is so cool. And I mean, I won't ask any others about any other others because that might be a next question. But I mean, it's important to send electronic robots, rocket ships and things out to space because we physically can't go there ourselves because they're too far away. But obviously, electronic devices can and send back the information that we need.
Right. I mean, we can't send humans to Jupiter right now because the radiation levels are really high. Same on Saturn. Not only would it take a long time to get there, but just the radiation would probably kill you. So that's why we send spacecraft. And maybe in the future we'll have the capability to send humans there.
And which planet are you hoping to go to, if you had a choice?
The most beautiful planet in the whole solar system. I used to think it was Saturn because I love the rings, but now I'm really in love with planet Earth. But I would not mind going to Mars. I think that would be a great mission, great opportunity, but I'm getting too old for that. That's for our students online here today. They're called the Mars generation, and you'll be the ones heading to Mars in about 20 years from now.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm very excited about our friends at Kahoot who've been very supportive of us doing this World Space Week event. And we're now going to check the leaderboard to see how the new students have been doing. And I'm not sure if any of them have managed to climb up the ladder there, but Astrodon, you're still sitting quite comfortably at the top. But will you be able to answer this next question? Here goes. Who holds the record for being the oldest astronaut to fly to space? Who is the oldest astronaut to fly to space?
I'm insulted. You have my name up there.
I thought I'd keep you on your toes.
Did you put these questions together? Boy, that's a cheap shot.
No, I'm just saying, because you might not be the oldest.
No.
What, you're 27 plus VAT?
And let me tell you, I'm about
boy.
a billionth of a second younger than I had been if I had not traveled in space. So I'm a little younger than I would have been.
And how is it possible that you could be a billionth of a second younger?
Well, the faster you travel near the speed of light, the more time slows down. So the fact that we're going around the Earth 20,000 miles or 18,000 miles an hour, 30,000 kilometers an hour or so, because I've spent 44 days in space traveling at that high speed, it turns out I'm about a billionth of a second younger.
I noticed it the first time I saw you when you signed onto the Google Hangout. I was going to say, what is your secret that you are looking so young? And now I know what it is, space travel.
You're just trying to recover from having my name up on this one.
Let's have a look at the scoreboard.
Who said it was me here? I want to talk to that student.
Well, let's see if anyone chose you. Someone did.
We did have one.
Mr. McNulty, someone in your class said that Don was the oldest. You're going to have to sort them. Maybe they're not in your class. It could be one of the international viewers. You never know. It could have been.
I'm not insulted.
I see someone doing a little bit of a shuffle out of the. Let's have a look to see who it was. Of course, the correct answer is indeed John Glenn. Does anyone know how old he was when he went into space? I know, Mr. McNulty's class, we've muted you, so you're going to have to unmute yourself. But does anyone want to take a wild guess? How old was John Glenn?
What do you guys think? What's the answer?
77.
77.
Is that the correct answer?
That is the correct answer.
It is.
That is the correct answer.
Good job. That would be Eric.
Great. How did you know that?
What?
Google.
No.
He just knows.
Okay. You just knew it.
Steve, let me tell you, I talked to Neil Armstrong after John Glenn had flown in space. And I said, Mr. Armstrong, are you going to go up in space again? And he said, no, I'm not old enough yet.
He's not that old.
That is so funny. But at the moment, why is it so difficult to fly to space as a senior? What are the complications?
You know, you have to have good physical health, and as you get older, it gets harder and harder. You have heart problems and other problems. So, that's a reason we typically select astronauts when they're in their late 20s, maybe early 30s, and most of the astronauts are retiring when they're maybe 55, 60 years old or so, and it's mainly due to health reasons.
Okay, so that means Mr. McNulty's group. How old are your students?
How old are you guys?
13. 14.
Okay, so
How old are you?
7 to 10 years from now, maybe one of you will be representing the USA to fly with NASA.
Yeah?
Any takers?
I vote for Rude. No.
He is winning so far.
And any young women over there that might want to be an astronaut as well?
Ladies?
No, just Rude. Just Rude.
They're thinking about it.
We're trying to get lots more women involved in math, science, technology, and engineering, and of course in space. So please feel free to get excited about it. It's a very important thing to have a lot more younger people, but in particular young women, entering the space field. All right, let's have a look at our leaderboard. Our leaderboard at the moment, Astrodon is still there. Logan is undefeated. And are any of these students from your group now, Mr. McNulty?
Not yet. Not yet. They've only had 2.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. Well, you never know. They might be able to move up.
Our closest right now is 21st place.
Okay. How about this? What is a shooting star?
Small piece of rock.
Is it too soon to start talking about prizes, Steve?
Prizes.
Is it too soon to start talking about
Prizes.
Perfect time.
No, not at all. We could chat about prizes. Sure. We've got 25 answers in so far. And of course, 22 people. Well done. So Don, what can you tell us about shooting stars?
Shooting stars, as the answer says, they're small pieces of debris that are floating through space that enter our atmosphere. The cool thing about seeing shooting stars when you're up in space is you have to look back down at planet Earth. Here on the ground, we look up at the sky to see a shooting star. Up in space, you have to look back down. And the shooting stars are fairly small, much smaller than when you see them here on Earth, because we're farther away from them in space. Shooting stars are burning up when they're maybe 30, 40 miles above the Earth, so 45 to 60 kilometers. And up in space, we're 200 miles, 300 kilometers above, so we're even farther away up there.
That is awesome. And I see Wayne has joined us as well. Hopefully Wayne has got some students with him, because we might be playing ghost mode. So, Mr. McNulty, how much time have you got with your students?
We're good for about another 10 or 15 minutes easily.
Okay, so we might be able to play some speed ghost mode. We'll see how it goes. All right, the next question is, are you ready for it? Oh, let's have a look at the leaderboard. Ava's now moved. No, Ava was always there. So, Don, you're still leading, which I'm very pleased to see that you're doing okay on top of the leaderboard. The next question is the last one. When you look up at the stars, you are looking at the stars as they are now, back in time, forward in time. There are no stars. You can only see planets. Oh, it could be a trick question.
Oh, right, I know it. Bro, which one did you play? You got it wrong. What? Which one? Wrong one. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Wait. No.
Find out.
How?
Oh, boy. Let's have a look at that. According to this, only 9 got it correct and 13 got it incorrect. Don, how is it possible that when you look back at the stars, you're looking back in time?
Because the stars are so far away, it takes a finite time for the starlight to get to our eyes. So even the sun, as it comes and hits our Earth here, it takes like 8 minutes for the sunlight to get to Earth. It's even farther for these other stars out there. So you could be looking back in time 10,000 years, 1,000,000 years, depending on how far away those stars are.
Wow, that is amazing. I know a lot of people obviously struggle with the concept of the fact that when you look at the stars at night, that you're looking back in time. And we find that when we explain this to the students, they're absolutely amazed that when they go outside and they look at some of the stars, some of them, the light has traveled 10,000 years to reach them. That star could have blown up yesterday, and we'll only know in 10,000 years' time.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing when you look up at the sky and think about that.
Wow. All right, so we're going to have a look at the leaderboard to see what happened over there. And according to the podium, you'll be pleased to know that, Don, you managed to take it. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. I got first place.
Oh, we haven't got the
here.
result?
I got it.
You got first place, and I think Jordan managed to get second place, and I can't see a name here for third place. Maybe your screen's showing it. But if we go, it was Logan and then Hunter got third place. What we're going to do quickly is we're going to play in. So if no one has signed in yet to play, this is your chance to sign in again. And ghost mode is identical to the game we just played, but this time you are going to try and beat your previous version of you. The order of the questions around, which gives you a little bit of a disadvantage if you've learned it off by heart. So, ghost mode, and I'm hoping that anyone who has not played yet will be able to sign up. We've got, you'll know that it's ghost mode because you'll see the ghosts next to the actual people's names. And we've got some more people signing up there. Let's just have a look at, see my family signing up. Are we ready? Let's see how well you guys do, and we're going to whip through these questions quite quickly. How do you spell astronaut? The answers are coming in very, very quickly. We're up to 39, 40. Well done, well done. Correct. Let's see what happens when we move to the leaderboard. Okay, so right now, Astrodon, you're sitting down at number 5, but Marina, Sanjula, Ava, and Hannah, and remember, these are the ghosts. These are people from the previous class. So now it's going to start to change when we get to the next question. Which was the last shuttle flown before the shuttle program ended? Not much time left. 2, 1, and 12 got it correct, and a whole bunch did not get it correct. Let's find out if that's going to affect the leaderboard. And look at that. Not only is Don on top, but he's beating his previous version of himself, but not far behind is Varun, Eric, and Danny. So let's see if, Don, if you can hold on to this title. Which planet was Cassini designed to observe? Not much time left. All 45 answers were in. 32 got it correct. Let's find out if that's going to affect our leaderboard. Oh, Varun is moving up very close to Don. Wow. You are in trouble. Varun is going to catch you. But remember, what's interesting, Don, is that you're playing better than you did the previous game. So we can see that learning is taking place. But
the Ghost is not doing as well as the other one, though.
Well, this is good. It means that all the new players are even better than the way the other class played when they first started. That's outstanding. All right, let's try the next one. Are you ready? Next question. What type of animal was the first to orbit the Earth? "37 answers in so far. Nine, 8 seconds. One second. 20 of them got it correct, but is that going to be 20 from this group or not? Let's find out. Oh, Don, you went up. I suspect that Varun got that one wrong, but you're still way better than you were the previous round. But Hannah, her ghost, has made an appearance. And Eric, of course, is still there. So, Ashley, please, you're working. You've gone up 10 places. That's very impressive. But let's see if you can hold on to that title, Don. How often does the moon orbit the Earth? The answers are coming in very quickly. We're going up to 114, 117. We've got 8 seconds. Answers in. $137 answers came in. 41 got it correct. Let's find out. Oh, Astrodon. But now look at this. All the ghosts are making a comeback. But Dean, you are representing for your class at the moment. Unless you're not from this particular group, Dean. You're doing very well. You are now sitting in 4th place. Let's find out if this next question will sort you out. When we are on Earth, what happens during a solar eclipse? The answers are coming in fast and furious. Nine seconds. We're up to 157. 196 answers in. 196 answers in. And 75 got it correct. Let's have a look at our leaderboard. Astrodon is still there, but Daniel's coming up and still challenging Logan and Casey. And, of course, yourself, Don. But you are definitely a few points ahead of where you were in the previous round. The next question, which one of these options is not a moon of Jupiter? We've got 39 answers in so far. You can always guess if you're not sure. Five seconds. And we only had 45 answers for that one. And of course, 25 got it correct. Let's have a look. On top of the leaderboard, Daniel and Dean are moving up. They are hopefully going to catch up. And Alyssa is now up 7 places. Very good, Alyssa. How many Earths can you fit into our sun? This is a question that Don got wrong.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Will you remember this one? We've got 20 seconds, 16, 43 answers in. 44 answers came in for that one. 15 of you got that correct. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. Astro Don, and you are on fire at the moment. You're sitting there with 9,800 points, which is more than the previous round. But of course, Daniel and Dean are catching up very, very quickly. And Astrodon, you've scored an answer streak of 8 in a row, and that's why you scored bonus points.
Excellent.
Very impressive. Oh, which astronaut flew the Apollo 11 command module while his 2 colleagues walked on the moon? They're doing well. 5 seconds. Hopefully Wayne is also taking part. And it looks like we have 17 with the correct answer. It was, of course, Michael Collins. And Don, Michael is still around, isn't he?
He's still around. He lives down in Florida, in the southern United States. And right now I know he's doing a lot of paintings in his free time. So he's become a bit of an artist.
Is he the kind of guy that goes to all the big space events, or is he a bit of a recluse as well?
He's a little bit of a recluse. He used to go to many events, and he was the director of the National Air and Space Museum when they set that up in Washington, D.C. So he used to be out in the public, you know, quite a bit, and he doesn't go out as very often, but once or twice a year, he goes out to these big events, the autograph shows, things like that. Very nice guy.
Oh, okay. I'm sure he is. Like they all are. Okay, let's go with the next question. Let's have a look at our leaderboard. Astrodon is sitting with 315, but Daniel and AJ are now sitting just a little bit under there with 6178 and 5887. And of course, Ben has gone up 9 places. So you are the highest climber. But what's going to happen in the last few questions? NASA's Scott Kelly and Roscosmos' Mikhail Kornienko achieved what on the ISS? Did they have a boxing match? Did they touch an asteroid? Did they do a tandem spacewalk? Or did they spend a year on the ISS? We've got 40 answers in so far. Easy peasy. 2 seconds. And our time is up. And of course, the answer is 22. So 1 year is the longest spent on the ISS, but that's not the longest ever spent in space. Is that correct?
Yeah, we had one Russian cosmonaut, I think, spent 420 days or so aboard the, I think it was the Mir space station.
That is correct. That is correct. I mean, that's a long time to spend in space.
That's a long time up there.
Would you have gone for a year?
I think I would do that. A year is a long time. It's a long time to be away from home. I was assigned to do like a 4-month mission. I got pulled for medical reasons, so I never flew it. But I was going to be up there 4 months, and that crew ended up being up there 6 months. But a year, that's a long time to be separated from your family and everything you know on Earth. That was a tough mission.
I can imagine. I can imagine. All right, next question. Don is still on the leaderboard, but Daniel is moving up very swiftly, and AJ as well. How many space shuttle missions did Dr. Thomas complete? Is he going to get it right? The pressure's on. it would appear that 14 of you got it correct. Hopefully it's 14 from this group. Astrodon is there. Ashley is moving up. He must have got it correct. And Daniel's moved up, which is very good. And Don, you're still sitting. Look at that. In the previous game, Don, you had 11,543 at this stage. And this game, you've now improved to 14,000. It just shows you how important Kahoot is as a learning tool. Because if you teach students a concept and they get to play it, and then all of a sudden they get to play it again, they get to reinforce the content.
Definitely. It's a good learning experience. I learned something for sure.
Well, there we go. There's proof that even an astronaut can learn about space by playing Kahoot. How long does the International Space Station take to orbit the Earth? Now, this class should know these answers. They're coming in very quickly. One second. Yeah, the 21 got it correct, but are these the 21 that are going to count? Astrodon is still there, but Daniel has moved up and AJ moved up and up 87 places is THICETP71. Wherever that is, it looks like they are seriously wanting to challenge you there. Let's find out if that's going to help. How many years in space did Cassini travel? And of course, some of you should know this answer. So all the answers came in very, very quickly. And 34 of you said it was 20 years, which is correct. Let's find out now if that affects the leaderboard. Look at that. Daniel has moved up to 3rd place. The only person that is beating him right now is Don and Don. And of course, AJ, you've got Logan from the previous game who's there. You're going to have to up your game one more time with question 14. Who holds the record for being the oldest astronaut to fly to space? So it's not who is the oldest astronaut now, but who is the oldest to fly to space? And I could see that the answers came in very, very quickly, which means you obviously remembered from the previous discussion. And our leaderboard now, Daniel, AJ, and Daria. And of course, Don, you're still there, but look at that. 3 of them have moved up. That is pretty impressive. That means real learning is taking place. Let's try the next question. What is a shooting star? And I expect popcorn here. The answer coming in very quickly. All the answers were in. Most of you got it correct, which means Astrodon is there, but look at that. Daniel, AJ, and Daria again, they are moving in pretty quickly. So that means they would be better than Logan was in the previous game. When you look at the stars at night, what are you doing? This one they should know. Eight seconds, and we've got 43 answers in. And most of you got that correct, which means the podium says that Astrodon, your ghost, you came first, but Daniel from the USA in Newtown, you came 3rd. So where's Daniel? Let's see if we can see Daniel.
There he is.
Let's have a look. Daniel, Daniel, are you a space fan?
Yeah, kind of.
Apparently.
Don, what do you want to tell Dan?
Daniel, you did a great job. You're definitely a space fan here. You knew a lot about it. I don't think I'd want to compete with you too long. I think you'd end up beating me here.
That's impressive. And I think we need a fist bump with Daniel as well.
Here's a virtual fist pump.
Go for the camera.
Let's get one of Daniel. We're going to have to go a little bit high up, Daniel, so we can see you.
Get on the chair. Get on the chair.
Get on the chair.
Let me get one of Don, and where's Daniel? There we go. Where's your fist bump?
That was good.
Daniel, you need another fist bump?
Oh, what?
Yeah, you're going to jump up so we can get a photograph of you. Just taking. There we go. You look like Superman just falling off a building.
People are going to take it.
Awesome. So now, before we go, just to let your students know that on the 31st of October, we're going to be interviewing Dr. Thomas about 5:15 our time. Eve, what is your time at the moment?
2:02.
It's 2 o'clock here.
2. So that would mean at 11 o'clock. 11:15 your time in the morning, Dr. Thomas, and we would love for the students to ask him some questions as well.
More like 8 a.m. here, right?
Well, it might.
6 hours.
For you in New York, it's 6 hours.
Yeah.
What's it in your place? It's 7 hours.
That'll be
6 hours.
Daylight savings time.
6 hours. So it'll be 11 a.m. 11:15 your time as well. Awesome. And of course, we want to thank all the people around the world who joined in and were able to play. And thank you, Kahoot, for allowing us to host this World Space Week event. Thank you to World Space Week organizers for sharing this event. And for Wayne, thank you for joining in. Although you were on mute and we couldn't see you, maybe you want to just pop in and say hi. And to all of you for taking part, that was absolutely awesome. And you know what I think we're going to do? Don, is it possible that we could send an autographed photo, one for Logan and one for Daniel, to them in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, give me their addresses and I'll send it to them.
Awesome, awesome. So you guys, because you did so well, we're going to be sending you an autographed photo from Dr. Thomas, which I think is a collector's item. Absolutely amazing.
Excellent.
And for the rest of you, we're going to say, yeah?
I want to check make sure that Logan and Daniel were not the ones who said Don Thomas was the oldest person ever in space.
No.
Daniel, did you think he was the oldest?
He says no.
Okay, I'll send the picture.
Okay. Deal. All right, and I will email you the information. All right. So thank you very much to everyone for joining us. I'm going to stop my screen share. I'm going to pop back in and say hello to all of you. And it really, really was a lot of fun. We're looking to do lots more of these events. I know that in the next week or two, it is the National Maths Week in Ireland, and they want to do a maths Kahoot. So hopefully you guys might be able to join us for a maths Kahoot and show us how smart you are as well. So we'll keep you posted about that in the next couple of days. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop the broadcast over here.